What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000, and we hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so, Wandavision showrunner Jack Schaefer said she never intended to include Mephisto, Magneto, or any of the other characters fans theorized about in WandaVision. Look, I've already displayed my displeasure about the ending of WandaVision. I thought this show was a masterpiece until the very end. Or I won't go so far as to say the very end. I kind of felt like the last two episodes of it was really lacking. I mean, the other 7 were perfect. I mean, I might have had some small complaints. But overall, I mean, I enjoyed the show immensely. I really did. When I say I thought it was a masterpiece, I really thought it was a masterpiece. Um, but yeah, I kind of felt like they kind of hinted a little bit that it was going to be that Mephisto was going to be in it. I never really bought into the Magneto thing, even though they did bring in the X-Men's Quicksilver. I mean, why bring that in if it's just something that you're not going to do anything with? So I mean, at the end of the day, I understand why fans are pissed. I'm pissed to a certain extent about it too. Um, Again, I never believed the Magneto thing simply because I didn't really see how that was going to fit into this universe. But at the same time, I'm like, well, you brought in the Quicksilver from the X-Men, so why would you not pay that off? But that's just me on that. Let me go ahead and read this. It says, WandaVision head writer and showrunner Jack Schaefer said that while she felt some pressure surrounding fan theories, she's happy with the story as it was told. I call BS on that one. I call BS on that one, because you cannot tell me that you're happy with even the way that it ended, even with supposedly grief being the main catalyst behind everything, and that just being basically the Mephisto or the big baddie of the show, actually, with this external villain being Agatha Harkness. You cannot tell me that you're satisfied with how that show ended or just continued all the way through. You have to have some regrets. You just have to. If you don't, then you're probably not. You're not being very truthful with yourself. You're just overly conceited. I don't know which. But it says Schaefer spoke to the Hollywood Reporter about the end of Marvel Studios' first show and some fans' disappointment that larger comic book and film crossovers didn't occur. For instance, many speculated that Mephisto would end up being the big bad, as he was in one particular comic run involving Wanda. One particular comic? What are you talking about? He was in the comic that basically WandaVision was based off of. Like, I mean, how do you... That's the kind of stuff that pisses me off. Like, it just pisses me off. It's almost kind of like, well, Mephisto was in one particular comic that involved her. One particular comic, like the whole thing about the children was Mephisto. Like, I mean, that revolved around Mephisto. Agatha Harkness, and Wanda, also involved around the children. That had to do with Mephisto. Like, I mean, that were a part of Mephisto. I mean, I just hate how those things are worded to make you feel like, well, fans were just, they were just, not, uh, they had high expectations because he was in a one comic book story with her. He plays a vital role in who she is. There were also theories that Magneto would appear, as the character was long considered Wanda's father in the comics. I knew that wasn't going to happen again. I know fans wanted it to happen, but look, it probably would have happened if X-Men was more popular at the time. But there is no way Kevin Feige is going to sit there and put a failing franchise into his masterpiece that is the MCU. There's just no way. Ultimately, the show delivered an alternate Quicksilver, multiple visions, and Agatha Harkness, proving it wasn't afraid to pull in comic characters. And for Schaefer, that was enough, even if some viewers were left unsatisfied. I didn't toss and turn, but it did affect me. I have to admit, Schaefer said. I'm a people pleaser, really now. I want people to be happy. I mostly just want to honor the commitment that I make with an audience. I do believe that you enter into a contract with the audience. Uh, and we violated that contract with intention in the sitcom space. We spoke with convention over and over again, but it was with discipline and intention. And I think it was part of the thing that the audience relished and enjoyed. But as far as the sum total of the series, I didn't want to break any promises, and I don't feel that we ever promised some big male bad. What do you mean male bad? Like, why did you put the male in there? Like, didn't any politics crap. It's baked in that the ultimate antagonist of the show is grief, and that Agatha is the external antagonist. So, as far as those theories, I got a little nervous, but even at this point, I don't want Mephisto or Magneto. As a viewer, that's not what I would want out of the series. But yeah, with some of the smaller stuff, I was like, oh, be patient and watch the whole thing. Um, Look, you added too many Easter eggs for comic book fans. The children, adding them to the story was automatically going to make people think of Mephisto. It just was. So to get up there, it's disingenuous to get up there and say, well, these are fan theories that really are kind of out there, basically. That, we didn't follow through on because the main thing was grief. Well, why did you add the thing with the kids? Like you added it with the kids, and then to add injury to insult, then you bring in the Quicksilver from the X-Men universe, and then you're shocked that fans would think maybe Magneto will be appearing in it. Like, I mean, what is wrong with this person to think that to try to make it sound like, well, I just don't know why fans are this way. I don't know why they were thinking that. Wasn't it clear that it was about grief? It would have been. It would have been if you hadn't added the kids and the X-Men. The old X-Men clues to it. I mean, it would have been very clear. Yes, I would agree with you. It would have. Grief would have been a really great villain, and I wouldn't have had a problem with it. But I mean, you don't add the X-Men Quicksilver to it and be shocked that people will get an X-Men connection. And you don't add the children that are part of Mephisto's soul without thinking that there's going to be a Mephisto one. I mean, and then to say, the whole Agatha Harkness mentioning the devil's in the details and all of that other kind of stuff like that. I mean, what did they think was going to happen? Did they do this for giggles? Like what was the point of saying these things in it just to make fans be disappointed? That's not funny. Like, that's not funny. I'm all for taking a left turn every now and then, but when you're just building something up, it's almost kind of like at the end of Game of Thrones. People wonder why fans were so pissed at the end of Game of Thrones. Those showrunners were. And the reason why it was is because you take the Night King, for instance. Built up as this big baddie, easily killed. Nothing explained about him, even though everything had been going up to it. Everybody thought this whole Jon Snow Night King thing was built up, and then who ended up killing him? Arya. Because why? Because of some vague thing about blue eyes, prediction about blue eyes. I mean, that's the kind of stuff that pisses fans off. And if they don't understand why that pisses fans off, then I don't know how to help you on that one. I really don't. Like that's not taking a left turn. That is completely going off the tracks. And then swearing to God that you are still on them. Like, I mean, it's just that her excuse pisses me off. It really does. Pisses me off that you add all these little details to the story, but you don't expect anybody to follow the breadcrumbs. Like, it just stupid, stupid, stupid. And you know what? I think it's gonna hurt upcoming Marvel series, simply because I know me, for instance, I personally don't trust I don't trust Marvel when it comes to series. I think that they're always going to look at it in this regard. We are going to try to push the movies. The series are going to be good, but they're always going to be build up to the movies. That's what I worried about originally with the series. And when WandaVision first 1 through 7, I was thinking, okay, we've got a legit story. Forget the movies. But then the last two episodes, especially the last episode, was just built up to to promote the movies. I mean, to promote Doctor Strange 2 and Captain Marvel 2. Like, that's all that was about. Like, I mean, it was to promote it. And then you had the build up between White Vision and then the Hex Vision, basically. And you build that up, build that up, build that up. And then they sit there and they talk about boats for a little bit. And then White Vision just takes off. Seriously? Or Agatha was drawn to it because she felt some power. And so she was drawn to that. We're not going to explain her how she got her powers. We're not going to explain the Darkhold. We're not going to explain what a Scarlet Witch was supposed to be. Just that it was foretold that she was to destroy the world. But yeah, we just, I don't know, I guess take Agatha's word for it. So I mean, there was so many little things in there. The whole Senor Scratchy thing, like, I mean, you're gonna seriously name it after Agatha Harkness's son, but yet you're not gonna pay that junk off? Are you kidding me? Um, it just, it blows my mind. It blows my mind. Then you wasted the mid-credit scenes to make it to add injury to insult. I mean, it just, I'm still pissed about it. I'm still pissed about it. But I'm even more pissed about reading Jack Schaefer's explanation on it. I feel like that person is just out of their ever loving mind if they put down breadcrumbs but then get pissed when people follow it. As always, guys, let me know what y'all think. Let me know if y'all think I'm overreacting to this, because I'm still kind of pissed about it. I mean, I feel like it's deserved. I deserve to be pissed because I put so much effort into this show. I said so many good things about it just for them to just be like, it just wasn't as good as you thought it was. Like, come on. Come on, like I kind of feel tricked in a way, and I will admit, I'm still kind of pissed. Maybe it is a pride thing to a certain extent, because here on Rants or Us, me and Lance both talked about how wonderful this show was, and then at the very end, it was just a big middle finger to all the fans, including us, that had been promoting this show, to do that. Like, I mean, it upset me. It upset me, and I feel like a lot of people had reason to be upset about it. And I kind of feel like Jack Schaefer just really doesn't understand um, their their views on that. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all take care.